you have to forgive me because I'm practically in tears with that run. This is Mr. Torture, by the way. I'll be hosting for the next couple of hours. No, seriously, go follow Mike. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to start off with go follow Mike, because that run was something else, something out of this world. Well, right now we're going to follow with Bill and Ted by Corndan. I suppose Vice is going to be in the call as well. So I'm going to check with them and see if they're ready to go.
All right. Welcome everyone to the DOS version of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I'm Corndan. I'm joined here by Faizu.
Hello.
And we're going to play the most faithful Bill and Ted game ever made.
That's actually not inaccurate.
It is actually true. So let me get all this set up here. Yeah, this game is totally bogus. I'm sure we'll find out.
We are probably going to hear the game itself proclaim it as being bogus several times, no less.
I'm certain of it. So, you guys saw there the setup screen. We need 12 dudes for an A+. The plot of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure is that, well, we'll go through some of this here. They're gonna fail history, and if they fail history, they fail to save the world later in life. So George Carlin comes back in time to send them back in time to go get a whole bunch of historical dudes. Now they're not, doodads are also dudes. So we'll get this started here. That Bill and Ted, you flunked every section of this class. Unless you get an A+, you're gonna flunk. You know your topics, it's the 12 people.
Bogus.
Bogus.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
So yeah, this necessitates going back in time and gathering 12 dudes and bringing them back
and
to the present.
them, because that's how you're gonna get your paper done, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so, what we're gonna do, this is, I like calling this an adventure light game. It's a DOS-style adventure game.
Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
But it's not really an adventure game, so,
it has a couple of inventory puzzles, I guess, but not many?
Right. So we're playing on difficulty 4, which is the highest difficulty, which means I have to get all the dudes, and there's a couple of side quests, which is why I just picked up that ice pick. So the first dude we're gonna go get is Socrates. Socrates, right? To get him, you need to answer the question, who's the wisest person? So to do that, we're gonna go see the Oracle. And you're probably gonna hear me fail a bunch of times on this. I have to get every coin in these next 3 areas. Basically, if I stay off the path, it's going to proclaim, just like that, bogus.
Bogus.
And there's really 2 places that's going to happen a lot. You'll see it here. We do this one here because clearly this is the run killer if you're actually going to go speedrun this. The game is super tight, effectively, here, that, you have to control both Bill and Ted. They control together. But if they're 1 pixel off, the hitboxes are super precise here.
I actually kind of like the fact that, for once, this game doesn't make you choose between Bill and Ted, or give you one character and the other one only shows up in a multiplayer mode that doesn't exist in this case, but it actually gives you both of them to control at the same time. It's unique.
It is unique, and as I said, we're going to fail it a lot.
Oh yeah, I just watched you fall through the floor.
Oh yeah. So
this is one of the worst platforming segments I've ever seen.
This is by far the worst segment in the entire game. This and Napoleon, but we'll get to Napoleon a little later. So what I'm trying to do now is route it where the areas that have extra items that you need, we go get those first. So here, we've getting Socrates his answer, and he likes the answer, decides to follow us.
Excellent!
So the next one we're gonna get, because this is the other run killer. I gave this out in Cuso Grande, and we were at Billy the Kid. Now I went to Socrates first because he had $1, and I need that $1 to go buy a drink. That I don't actually care about the drink. I want the copper coin because it's a penny. Now we're gonna go try to. Okay, it didn't soft lock. So there's a chance here, depending on what you have in your inventory, what all you've done, you'll get to that fight and they just won't move. And then you soft lock. So I do have a save file that I didn't need.
Excellent!
That soft lock has happened to me like 4 times in a row.
That soft lock happened to everybody in Cuso Grande. So we're making a side trip, so you can only carry 2 dudes in the phone booth with you. We're making a side trip to see Genghis Khan. We actually have to come back to him, but I need the flowers first. So it's the only side trip I have to make.
That's very inaccurate. They carried a lot more than 2 dudes in the phone booth.
Well, right, but the game only lets you carry 2 dudes.
Man, the game is harder than the movie.
Alright, so we have to grow these flowers because we're gonna go see Sigmund Freud. And as Sigmund Freud, and as he will tell you, right, he has mother issues, and so to alleviate that, we want to give his mom the flowers, right, and at the same time we're gonna pick up this bread box, and we're gonna drop it, right, to go get Twinkies. Because as everybody knows, Genghis Khan loved Twinkies.
That is a puzzle that nobody... If you haven't seen the movie, you are not going to be able to solve that puzzle.
100%.
I don't quite know why the Twinkies are in Sigmund Freud's bread box, mind you.
So you know the old adage that Twinkies last forever. Apparently they last so forever that the Twinkies we have are actually made in Sigmund Freud's time. So now we're gonna go see Abraham Lincoln. He's another one that has one of these like fetch quests. He's got this key here. We're not gonna use it until the very end, but it's just convenient to get Abraham Lincoln now.
Abraham Lincoln is hypnotized by the penny, apparently.
So now we're going to go to the other hard part of the game. This is the other place you're going to lose time, is Napoleon. Now, Napoleon, you don't need to give him an item or anything. You can just go collect him off the field of battle. Remember all the problems with bogus on that? You're going to see it a lot on that bridge. Because that bridge is like the worst thing in the entire game for getting pixels.
I love Napoleon's jump.
The jump here is faster than walking, with the occasional weird thing, and I'm going to try to show it off, that for whatever reason, depending on how high of the jump you are, you just bounce off. You literally bounce off the boundary. Because this game is well programmed.
It's a capstone game. What do you expect?
Yeah, so let's talk about capstone a little bit. A lot of you guys who like Cuso Grande and everything know the maker LJN. Right, LJN, Capstone Games is the LJN of PC games.
That's a really good way of describing it.
Nothing they make is... In this case, it's less egregious than a lot of LJN games, but none of it is good.
Yeah, they did a lot of movie license games, and they did them in a lot of weird ways, like turning Bill and Ted into this, which is kind of an adventure game with mini games, and it's kind of genre defying. They did this a lot.
They turned Wayne's World into an actual adventure game.
They did make some actual adventure games. That's Joan of Arc there. She is a hot chick, because that pun has to be made at least once.
Correct. And so now we're going to do a bunch of the fetch stuff all at the same time here. So Einstein needs a calculator, right? We need that ice pick to go get it out of the glacier and the ice age.
Chat just reminded me that they made a Homie D Clown game, and I forgot that existed.
They did Wayne's World. They also did an LA Law game.
I'd forgotten about that as well. Homie D Clown was the one that I'd really forgotten about, though. Like, that was stuck in my head for years, and then I apparently managed to blank it out.
So now we give Einstein the calculator, and now he can balance his checkbook.
Excellent!
So now we're basically done with all of the fetch quests. Now we just have to go fetch people. So we're off to go get Beethoven. Right, who's missing a note? Beethoven, yep.
Beethoven. I'm sorry for correcting your pronunciation. I'm just a hardcore stickler for the movie.
No, I'm totally down with it. That was not what I wanted. So, now we're actually going to get to the point of the game. Now we have to get to Marie Antoinette. And this is the one piece of speed tech in the whole game. There is actually speed tech in this game. And that is, we're going to make use of the fact that the collision detection on corners here is awful.
God, I remember playing this section and just finding it an absolute nightmare.
So, if you don't actually know the, if you actually know the maze, right, that is a big pain in the butt. You have to avoid a whole bunch of people. It's like a stealth thing. Instead, you just walk through the wall.
Amazing. I wish I had known about that years ago.
And I forget who, and I think it's Hatman, found that out, after I handed it out for Cuso Grande. This is something we learned because of Cuso Grande.
Unbelievable. Well, never let it be said that Cuso Grande has not done anything good for people. And now this bit we get to play Donkey Kong, I believe.
Yeah, except so the getting hit by the barrels just knocks you over. It doesn't do anything bad, really. So you just, don't worry about it.
Also, very kind.
Also, if you're on the stairs, they can't hurt you.
That's also kind of impressive.
I know, right? So, now we're gonna go collect, Mr. Angelo.
Excellent!
And then the last one we need is Nero.
Fluffy Squirrel, not only did they have to put Marie Antoinette back to get captured, they presumably had to tie Joan of Arc to a stake and set her on fire as well. But then, as the manual notes, she is a hot chick. I cannot get over the fact that pun is in the manual itself.
Alright, so now we're actually going to, the hardest part of the game, and that's getting a hold of Missy. You have to go to this thing here, so Missy will pick you up from school, and you have to jam the Y button on your keyboard. I've been playing on a gamepad the whole time, right?
What? Oh my god, Missy's face is horrifying.
Oh yeah.
That looks wrong compared to literally everything else in the game.
And with this, we're done. So, we have a little time. Let's watch the ending because it's ridiculous.
GG.
So we're going to introduce all of them. They all have their own music.
I don't think Joan of Arc is wearing period-appropriate clothing.
I don't think she is either. So we save the day. The principal has no choice but to give us an A+. And the Wild Stallions live on forever.
Wild Stallions rule.
Wild Stallions do rule. And depending on what people tell me how far ahead behind we are. We found out in prep for this that there is a bad ending. Right, and the bad ending sends Bill to a military school, and Ted works on at like a fast food place.
George Carlin saved the future.
We saved the future, guys.
That ending's great.
It's amazing.
Oh, that was fantastic. I hope we have enough time to see the bad ending. That sounds... I can't imagine it'll be anywhere near as good as the good ending.
It's also super fast to do this.
I assume you just go to the mall and phone Missy immediately.
That is exactly what happens. And I'm going to do this literally for... we'll do this real quick.
Break the rules. Do it.
Yeah, well...
You're an admin. You can get away with it. You're responsible for this weekend.
No, I'm
Partly.
Alright, so, yeah, literally, if all you do is go straight into Missy...
Gentlemen, you're on your own.
Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
So we'll go see Missy here. I did not want 6.
Out of interest, do you have like all the phone numbers written down in front of you, or have you played this so much now that you can remember
so
them?
I actually have them in my split, but the one that's easy to remember is the mall, because you hit it so often.
Okay. I figured by this time, if you've played it enough, you may just be at the point where you can remember.
Some of them I can. So here's going to be the terrible ending. It just skipped all that. Well.
Oh well.
I'm sorry, guys.
Bad things happen to everybody, and the world is doomed because Wild Stallions never became a very popular rock band that wrote songs that brought the entire world together in peace and harmony.
Exactly. So with that, we can move on to the next game.